Hello, my lovelies, and welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn, and we're going to talk about Mother's Day today. It's coming up. It's right around the corner. Yay, hooray! My mom has passed, and I am not a mother, but I still love Mother's Day. Boy, it's the hardest job in the world. And you also get the least amount of praise and recognition for your hard work in turning tiny humans into successful, productive adults. So I'm here to say thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we're gonna make a Mother's Day ice cream pie. Let's get down to it. Ice cream pie, yay, hooray. This recipe sounds super impressive. It looks pretty darn good too. But really the components are very easy. So let's go ahead and we'll start off over here at the stove. And I've got just a regular saucepan. It's a little bit shallow, a little bit wide at the bottom. Kind of like me. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on 5. And to this, I am going to add 8 ounces, 1 full cup of heavy whipping cream, 36% fat. Got this at my regular Albertsons. Probably your grocery store has it too. And I am going to just add that all in there. And I am going to bring this to a low simmer because I do not want it too hot. We're going to pour this over chocolates. And remember, like Mary Berry says, chocolate melts in a child's pocket. So it doesn't have to be to 180 degrees. In fact, we wouldn't want it that hot because we don't want it to scorch our chocolate. So we're going to watch it very carefully. You know, kind of like a toddler. We're going to watch it like a toddler. And you mothers, you know, that's the hardest work ever. They're everywhere. They're into everything. They're running around, wearing you out. That's why you need a Mother's Day ice cream pie. So I've got it on 5, that's my medium, and we're just going to go ahead and bring this up in temperature, probably to about 120 degrees. Yay, right. I've also got my chocolates here. Now, I did not have a baker's bar. I had semi-sweet chocolate chips. These are a good quality chip. I enjoy them. And I have 8 ounces in here as well. I measured them with my digital scale because it is a 1-to-1 ratio. 8 ounces of chocolate, 8 ounces of milk, and that is going to make the perfect ganache, the topping for our ice cream pie. So just let it do what it does. Be delicious. You can do it. I believe in you. Got this pie shell, you know, over at the Dollar Tree. $1.25. Looked at the price of pie shells at my Albertsons because I was thinking to myself, is it really worth it to drive all the way over there? And a pie shell of the same size, just a different brand, in fact the store brand, was $3.25. So, you know, my car gets pretty good gas mileage. Decided that I would absolutely save $2, if not then some, by going over to the Dollar Tree and grabbing a pie shell. And it even comes with a handy dandy little lid. Gonna set that aside so nothing happens to it. You can certainly use any pie shell that you want. This is just a 9-inch pie shell, graham cracker crust. It's all ready for me. You could make your own. If you wanted a chocolate one, you could certainly do that. It's your house. It's your pie. Do what you want. Have at it, baby. Okay, at my Albertsons. It's frosty. At my Albertsons, they had dryers on sale for $2.77, and I got the coffee flavor. Yeah, because this pie is for me. And what do I like? I like coffee. I like coffee flavored ice cream. I wanted Java chip, but I got my milk. I wanted Java chip, but they did not have that. They had very few varieties. I've let this sit out for a couple of minutes, and let's see if it's scoopable. Oh, it's a little bit hard still. I had it in the deep freeze. Anyhow, we're just going to go ahead and scoop this on in here. I'm expecting that it's going to take about half of this 1.5 quart container of coffee ice cream. Now you can use any flavor that you want. Maybe your mom likes, maybe you're going to make it for your mom who likes strawberry. Or, oh, you know what would be really good? Would be pricey. Would be some of Cherry Garcia from Ben & Jerry's or Chunky Monkey. Oh, yeah. I hardly ever see those go on sale, but those would be delicious too. Maybe you have a mom who's lactose intolerant and you're going to get, you know, some dairy-free milk for your mom because you don't want her to have an upset stomach all day long from your little goodie, from your little I love you. Here's a ice cream pie. So maybe you can let yours sit out a little bit longer than I did mine, but I'm just going to go ahead and struggle here. And I'm going to fill this up about 2/3 of the way. I'm going to leave a little room for extras. This is where I'm at so far. Bring you back when I've got it all filled in. I've got mine about half filled. And what I decided was that because I could not find Java chip, I would just go ahead and take a few ounces of chocolate chips and just spread that all in the middle. So I would get a little bit of chocolate chip in every bite. You could put a caramel sauce. You could put nuts in it. Use your imagination. Your mama helped you develop it. All those books and stories she read you. That's because she loved you. Wanted you to have a good imagination. Put it to good use. All right. No, that looks delicious. I can just go like that. I'm gonna put some more ice cream on it. Absolutely. Just go ahead and add your next layer. And remember to save room for the chocolate ganache, which is doing just fine over here. We're not even warm yet. All right, I'm gonna finish up this. Be right back. Okay, got my pie all filled with coffee ice cream. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a moment and kind of smooth it out and pat it down because I really want that chocolate ganache to look amazing on top. I am somewhat informal. That's how I'd like to put it. I'm somewhat informal when it comes to how my desserts look. If I was on Great British Bake Off, like Paul Hollywood, those eyes, those Paul Hollywood eyes, they pierce your soul. And anybody with me on that one? Paul Hollywood would come over and he would say, well, Shorty Von, your flavors are amazing, but you know, it needs to be tidied up a little bit. I accept that. I accept that. I would be the person whose gingerbread house would fall over and he would come over and say, your orange gingerbread was amazing tasting and probably the best that I've had all day, but unfortunately, because of the way it looks, you're gonna go home. And I would take my little broken gingerbread and hit the road. But I would be happy to have been on Great British Bake Off just to look at those eyes. Lord have mercy. I am a sucker for blue eyes. Well, and brown eyes. Green eyes are good too. Okay, so I've got this tidied up. Pretty happy with the way that that looks. Yay, great. I'm going to go put it back into the deep freeze so that it stays solid. I don't want this to become like a runny mess, and I had to do some major reorganizing in that freezer just to be able to get that jug of ice cream in and this pie. It was a project. It was like Jenga. You ever play Jenga in the refrigerator and freezer? Just like that. Just like that. It was worth it. Look at this. I'm going to eat pie. Lord's mercy, I have to tell you this one. So I'm over here and I'm thinking, boy, this milk should at least be warm by now. It's not warm at all. I had taken my coils out to clean my drip pans, and apparently I did not get this one. This is my favorite burner. Do you have a favorite burner? Anyhow, I did not get the coil back in correctly, so it's just not even been on at all. But at least I figured it out. So now my milk is finally heating. That's a good thing. It happens. It happens. Everyone has a little faux pas now and then. Everyone, especially me. That's okay. We'll recover. It'll just take a few more minutes, and then we'll make our ganache. And it's super simple. So when this gets to about 120 degrees, all you do is pour it over this, and then, you know, grab a utensil, and we're just going to work it. We're just going to work it until it gets melted and creamy and shiny and delicious. And then we are going to let it cool. And at various stages of cooling, ganache does different things. So when it first comes out, it is going to be most like a hot fudge kind of a situation. That would be great on your ice cream, or as a sauce to something, you know, a little hot chocolatey sauce on something. That would be delicious. Then it's going to kind of, you know, cool a little bit more. Then it's going to be a little bit thicker of a sauce. That's where we're going to pour over our ice cream pie when it's mostly cold, but not all the way, and just slightly thickened. Let it go all the way cold, and then it is going to be a very thick consistency, and that's what you can make little chocolate truffles out of. And we might do some little chocolate truffles as a little special garnish to our Mother's Day ice cream pie. I can't wait. I can't wait. So for this ice cream pie, I've been invited somewhere this weekend, and I will take it with me as part of our dessert to share it, because honestly, I could plow through the whole thing by myself, and you know, I don't need that much ice cream pie. I'll just have the one piece. The one piece. Anyhow, yep, chocolate ganache. Just gotta wait for my milk to get to about 120 degrees. I've got a little instant read thermometer, but you will smell it. You will smell it, and you won't even probably need the thermometer except to double check yourself. This is already at, yeah, this is just about ready. Okay, we'll give that a few more seconds, and then we're going to go ahead and pour it off and make our ganache. See the little bubbles? All done. All done. We're all set. That's it. That's all there is to it. Take it off. And here is our chocolate. And we will just go ahead and pour this heavy cream right over top, just like that. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. 1 part cream, 1 part chocolate. And then we will just grab this whisk and just begin whisking. And just get that chocolate all melty and delicious. Yay, hooray. And doesn't that look good? Oh, it smells fantastic. I've chosen a slightly larger bowl here, and that's just really to aid in the speed of the cooling. Plus, I like to make my ganache in one of these stainless steel mixing bowls because it will allow, oh, see how it's starting to get glossy? There we go. Keep going. Keep going. You can do it. It will allow it to cool most consistently. So I don't want it to cool very fast, but I don't want it to take all day either. And you can see it's already starting to slightly thicken. How glossy it's become. And it will just keep doing its thing. All of my chocolate is melted. It's super glossy and shiny. Yay, hooray. And now I'm just going to go ahead and let this sit here and cool down until we get to the pouring temperature that I desire for my ice cream pie. Not too hot, not too cold. Something that we can just go ahead and pop into the deep freeze and get at the correct temperature. Get that all frozen up. Envelop our ice cream pie. Bring you back in a minute. So I've taken my frozen ice cream out of the freezer, and my ganache is much thicker. As it cools, it will continue to thicken, and I'm just going to go ahead and pour a little bit over. Just like that. And we'll see if we need more. Now, of course, you could use your magic shell. That would work terrific as well. But a little ganache is going to be delicious. And let's go ahead and grab a little knife and just go ahead and give that a very light smear, spreading it around, getting as much coverage as we can. Come on, work with me. There we go. It looks like we need a little more ganache. I just want to take that to the edges as much as possible. I think that I have put in too much ice cream. I'm not sure that that's necessarily a bad thing, but there we go. Looks delicious. I'm not mad at it. Gonna put this back in the freezer. Make sure when you're putting it back in the freezer that you're putting it as level as possible, because you don't want all your chocolate to tip off. It's gonna freeze solid. Show you what it looks like when we come back. As you can see, my leftover ganache is pretty much the consistency of frosting at this point. I want it to be a little bit thicker, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it into the freezer, and then we're going to make a little bit of truffles. A little bit of truffles as a little garnish for our pie. Yay, great. Okay, so here's my pie, and the chocolate ganache is all set. Looks delicious. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a very thin layer of Cool Whip. Cool Whip makes everything just a little bit better. I like to use it because it doesn't weep the way that real whipped cream sometimes will. So I think this is a pretty darn good compromise between real whipped cream, and it does say on the container, extra creamy, made with real cream. I don't know. But anyhow, I love it. I'm going to put some on and just take it over the top a little bit. It might be a little bit much. I'm a little bit much. It's all right. It'll be good. And let's go ahead and I'm going over to baby sister's house this weekend, and I know that she will love a little whipped cream, and there will be a ton of kids there, and they will love it too. And we'll go ahead and just go ahead. This does take a little bit of time with the freezing and refreezing and what have you. Make sure you take your Cool Whip out to thaw if you're going to do that. Use that. But here we go. That's what we've got so far. I'm not mad at it. You know where it's going. Back in the freezer. Almost done. One more step. One more step. It's super fun though. Okay, so my ganache has come out of the freezer. It's really hard. Well, it's very solid. And I also have a little bit of Dutch cocoa here. And I have a 1/2 teaspoon cookie scoop. And very simply, I'm going to go ahead and just grab some of the ganache onto my cookie scoop. I'm going to go ahead and put it into my cocoa. And I am just going to roll that around and form it into the very best ball possible. Now this in itself would be a delicious little gift for Mom. You could make these little truffles, put them in a little fancy box that you got at the dollar store with a little bit of, you know, a little bit of parchment paper or some of those little fancy lace doilies. Those would be fantastic. And this is just going to be the special little garnish on my pie. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and take it somewhere so I don't eat the whole thing. But yeah, and then just round it out a little bit. Go ahead and roll it in the cocoa. Now, you could roll it in nuts. You could roll it in coconut. You could, you know, whatever your heart desires. You don't have to roll them in anything. You could just roll them up into a ball just like that, and that would be delicious. You can use any kind of chocolate. I have used semi-sweet today all day. The ganache is made with semi-sweet, but you could use milk. My mother would have preferred milk. You could use white chocolate. That would be fine. Your hands will get a little bit messy. So if you're, you know, not crazy about messy hands, wear some gloves. I've got plenty of soap, so I'm not worried about it. But, you know, no one's watching. Just, you know, you're all done. You don't got to worry about cross-contaminating anything. Go ahead. Give it a little lick. I won't tell. I won't tell. I'll keep your secrets. I'm actually an exceptionally good secret keeper. It's something I pride myself on. Okay, I'm going to do one more. And however many you think you need, just go for it. Well, let's just finish it. Let's just finish it up. We'll just finish it up. So all you moms out there, thank you. Thank you for giving birth. Thank you for raising up your children right. Thank you for producing, you know, productive members of society. Appreciate it. Doing your best, even when you don't feel well, even when they don't feel well, even on those days when you might not even particularly like your own children. That happens. That happens sometimes. Sometimes kids are jerks. Anyhow, thank you for loving us even when we're jerks. Thank you for, you know, bailing us out when we get into trouble and all those things. All those things. Okay. All right, I'm going to put these on top of my pie. I'm going to call it a day. I'm going to have a cherry for top. But how about a strawberry? There you go. It's fun. It's festive. Hey, bake your mom an ice cream pie. I used coffee, ice cream, and chocolate ganache. But use your imagination. What would your mom like? She would be thrilled to get this. Any mother would be thrilled to get this pie, I think. All right. Be good, be careful, look both ways. Make your mom something special for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I appreciate you. Be good, be careful, look both ways, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous.